Hello, my name is Ward, and I've pulled out the cameras out of the boxes so I can hold each one of them in my hand and kind of explain them, and you can get an idea of the size of them. It's kind of hard to tell when you're just looking at pictures on there. So this is our CBN12. It's 1920 by 1080. High definition. Takes an SD card. Has the buttons across the front here for playback. Comes with a mount that sticks on. The mount has this double-sided tape that you put on here and you stick on the windshield, and then it's just a matter of putting it in there and holding it on your windshield like that. So this is the CBN12. Doesn't have GPS. It's just kind of our no-frills, high-definition camera. Basic. It's a nice quality camera. Comes with a 3-year warranty. So now this is actually the camera right here that I'm using to record with. So I have to remember to speak loud, or else you can't hear me, and I'll try to do that. Now this is the BC-127. Okay, this was really our first high-definition camera that we got, and it has the external monitor out, which is what I'm using here. So you can see, if you had a monitor in the car, anything that has the yellow video out, you can see the time, you can see that it's recording, you can see what's going on there. And you can also, since you have it to a monitor, you can use this to change settings with the remote. Otherwise, it comes with a remote, but unless you got it attached to a monitor, it's not going to do you much good. So this is the BC-127. All of these have, these four right here have the Umbrella chipset, which is a very high quality chipset. The difference between these and these is just that there's no LCD, and these have an LCD. Okay, this is kind of the E22, which is kind of the configuration like this. It's going to sit on your window like this all the time. You can push the button and turn the monitor off, or the LCD off and on. If you don't mind that kind of a profile in your window, you know. And of course, it's got the plate that slides in and out. These cameras also come with, they have the 3 little holes in them where you can slide the suction cups in that come with it. And you know, if you want to take it out and put it in another car, you know, get you an extra power cord or whatever, or if you don't want to use this, you know, maybe you're going to put it in a rent car or whatever, for whatever reason, you can just take this mount, put these cups in there, and then you can go back to the suction cup, and then when you get back to your regular vehicle, then you just get the lockdown like this, which is nice for pulling it down, putting it in the glove box, whatever you got to do, or popping the card out to, you know, to put the card in or something. And we sell extra 3M plates as well. So this is yeah. So this is the 150. This is the one that I use. Okay, it's basically, like I said, these are all the same. It's just different configuration, either of no LCD, or this has the flip down LCD, which is nice. You know, this is the one I use, and I hardly ever flip it down, but occasionally it does come in handy. For you can change settings and those kinds of things. And then it snaps shut. SD card comes over here on the right. You close this. Now we've kind of streamlined, coming out with the EO5, which is going to eventually replace this one completely. And this one has a flip open. It's the same pretty much. Okay, what we've done is just taken it and trimmed out the fat down here, so it's the only thickness here that you see is where the actual monitor is, or the LCD, you know. Then the rest of it's trimmed down here, so it's a little bit less of a profile on there. And these have a very low profile, and most people don't know what they are, because I've had truck drivers that go on military bases, and you're not supposed to have a camera on a military base, and they forgot to take them down. Nobody said anything because nobody knew what they were. So this is the EL7. This is our 2-channel front and back camera with GPS. It's got the 4 infrared LEDs that come on at night time, so it lights up the interior of the car. You got your front camera, of course. All of these have a little force button right here. Even this one, if you see something that you want to save, you just push that button and then it'll flag the file, and it won't erase it. You have to actually format the card and then intentionally erase that period of time, which is 2 to 3 minutes. It goes back before and after. And all of these have the G-force sense on them. Personally, I turn that off, or I turn it down to its lowest setting, because if you're in something bouncy, it's going to flag a lot of files. And of course, the more files you get flagged, the less recording time you have. So now all of these cameras, for the most part, except for a few of them that are wired direct into the vehicles, are 5-volt systems. Okay, so that means you're going to get a power cord with a 11-foot cable that you have to plug in to an auxiliary outlet or the cigarette lighter outlet. Okay, you can't just snip the end of it off and wire it into the 12 volts. You'll fry the camera. It's a 5-volt camera. My wife doesn't like anything sticking out of the auxiliary in her car. So what I did was I bought these. They have all kinds of, double or triplers, whatever, that make, 2 or 3 extra outlets in your deal, but these have the pigtails on them. So I just took this, bought this, I whacked the end of it off, so now I got me a pigtail right here that I wired up underneath the dash. It basically made me an outlet under the dash. These have a black wire, and the other side is a black wire with the white stripe. The white stripe is positive, okay? So I just grounded the black wire underneath, and then I stripped the white stripe one. I raised the radio fuse up, stuck it down in there, snapped it down in there, and bingo. Now when I start the car, it fires up the camera and starts recording. Just like with the radio, when you turn it off, it stops recording. So we sell these. You can pick them up somewhere too. We sell them for $9.95. You can also use them for just 2 in 1 if that's what you want. But if you do want to try to direct wire one, this is the best solution that I found. It's easy, and I put mine in, and then I just put a little tape around it, just make sure no accident will come out. Now over here, this is our other tube channel, and this is the one that's for boats, motorcycles, whatever. It's kind of pretty much weather resistant. I wouldn't say proof, because I guess it's certainly not waterproof. If you drowned it underwater, it's novel. I wouldn't trust that. Okay, but it's basically designed to be outside on a motorcycle if you need it. This flips up. You put your card in here. You got your lights right here for your GPS, your power, and your record. And once you put it in there, you put this in here, screw it down tight. Comes with the little cameras over here. You got the power, you got the mic, you got the GPS, and of course you got your cameras. Now, the mounting system on here comes with Velcro, where you can put it on the back and Velcro it onto something. It also comes with this little plate on here that you can put on the back, but you're not going to really need unless you want to get an optional mount. And then this screws into it, and then you can hang it down, set it up, or however you want to do it. We've got another one too that you can see pictures of on the website. I've actually got them connected to it so you can see how they sit. It's basically just a little smaller and sits on here. So this is this. Now these are the cameras that come with them. Alright. These are the outside infrared cameras. Got the little microband connection. They come with a plate, sticky back plate. You stick them on there that way. You can use the 4 holes and screw them in. Tilt them, whatever you got to do. Pivots here too, so you got a little leeway on there. Then you can turn it this way, or however, whatever you got to do, and then tighten it down. So, and this is about 11 feet of cable. So it's plenty to run it. And mostly on the motorcycles, you can certainly have a lot of it probably rolled up and over by the DVR. Now, for those that maybe want to use this inside a vehicle, or you don't want the infrared, because infrared at night, turns into black and white. So These cameras right here are color as well, even at night, because they don't have the infrared, so they don't switch over. And they're small little bullet cams. They're waterproof. You can see how small they are. They come in, have this little butterfly that you can wiggle back and forth. You screw them in and twist them this way. They also come with sticky tape on them. If you put them on there, you can mount them this way or this way. It comes with a little, comes with a little wrench where you can unscrew that and you twist it and you know, line these up. Of course, you have to be looking at the monitor and get them however you want to. So, you know, you got some mounting options there, because obviously if you hang it this way, it's going to be on the side, so you got to twist the camera. So there's this. We have external microphones and an external GPS. Once again, that 11-foot cable. 11 seems to be the magic number. Except for the video cable, this is 22 feet. And this only comes with ones that don't have an LCD screen. So this all comes with it as well. It's optional, but we choose to sell it with it rather than charge extra for it, because most people want it anyway. So now we have the 360 mount. This is an optional mount that you can get. And you would take off this, and take the screw that you have and the nut, and then you would put this on here, and then put it back on here. And now you've got a mounting option. Okay, so you can take this and do it however you want to. You've got plenty of pivot points on it. You can mount it this way. You flip this down and it locks on there. You know how these work. You lock that down and you release it. You know, I've had some cheap cameras that I've tested that I decided that I'm not going to sell because they were junk, and I'm not going to sell junk. And I mean, even the mounts on them, well, you had to be careful, because I broke one just trying to put it on the camera. That's how that cheap junk is, man. It was one of those cameras that's supposed to sell for $69, $70, under $100, you know. And they just were junk, you know. So anyway, this is the 360 mount. Comes in handy. We've also got a metal one that doesn't have a suction cup. It's got 3 screws. I call it the screw-on mount. It's a little longer, 6 inches long. We had that before we came up with this mount. And that's because some of our truck drivers and stuff, I'm not sure if it's the Peterbilts or which, some of them, they got a V in the windshield. So if they stick it on there like this, well, it's pointing this way or it's pointing this way, but they can't get straight down the road. So with these, then they can get it over here like this and then twist it around and put it straight down the road. So it's a versatile mounting option. You know, it's $19.95. So now this is the CDR E10. This is a 4-channel system. It handles up to a 64 gigabyte SD card. This lifts up. The card goes in there. Close it on down there. Screw it in. It's got your 4 camera inputs. The same cameras as these. It's just instead of the micro band, the cameras that go to this are the bigger S connector. Okay. With the 11-foot cable. Once again, that's a magic number. It's got audio and out. It's got your power in the back. Your GPS goes here. Your mic plugs in here. It's got video, audio out as well, but video is what you use. Well, you could use the audio if you wanted to. So this is a 4-channel system. Comes with some Velcro to put on here and mount. That's really the only mounting system for this one, because this one pretty much we didn't want to screw anything in the side, so this one would mount somewhere flat on something. And that's that one. Now this is really our newest camera. That's pretty cool. It's got the external GPS receiver, the magnetic backing on it, plugs into the back here. And it's got the external mount as well. So this also has a cable these all come with remote control. It's got an extension for the remote control in case you have this maybe in the back somewhere for what you're not going to have it where you can aim the remote at it. So it's got this long extension with this. Now this is the So this is separate. This goes under the dash or where you're going to put it, under your seat, in the glove box, whatever. And it's direct wired in 12 volt. This is the camera pot. Okay, it has the same slide on as this one does. It's got 4 infrared inside for inside, and then on each side where it shoots outside, there is no infrared. Once again, infrared doesn't work through glass. Okay, and I'm going to take some video samples and show that, because I still see people advertising that they've got infrared for night vision on dash cam. It's not going to happen. Shine a flashlight out the glass and not have it up to the glass, and you'll see what you're going to get. You're just going to get a glare. That's all there is to it. You have to put the flashlight right up to the window, and then you could work. And nobody's shoving these things up right up to the window. And I'm still not sure that they'll work with the infrared, to be honest with you. So this is the tripod here. As you can see, it's kind of small. It's not really that much. I don't even know if people know what it is necessarily. This is a cable. It's a long cable. Fits up through here. You can run it down along the side. Plugs into the back. This also has these connections. It's got your negative, then you got the positive, then you got the ignition. Okay, you got ignition. If you wire these up, if you're not going to fix this, this is basically the hot. Now when you turn on the switch, this puts power to it and fires the DVR up. If you're just going to wire it direct, like to the radio fuse or whatever, so you want it when it gets power, it starts running, then you have to twist these two together and put them on your hot, and then put them on a switch, or however you want to do it. But otherwise, this is the hot, and this is the ignition wire that fires it up, tells it to record. Okay, and then if you turn it off, well, it's still hot. So if you got it set to parking mode to continue recording after ignition, then it would continue parking as well. And you can set it to motion detection or whatever, so it just takes pictures. And you can get pictures of somebody walking by your car, or anytime somebody that takes motion, it snaps pictures. Or you can do video. I would do pictures. Alright, so that's the MD657. That basically takes care of all the cameras and everything. I did want to show you, you can't really tell too much, but if you look up close and everything, you can tell just by holding them to start with that they're quality product, okay? And they're not some cheap, slick, breakable plastic or flimsy plastic or anything else. I mean, these things, it feels like some kind of rubberized material, it's not flimsy plastic. You can tell that this is a quality camera. And that's the only kind we're going to sell. We're just not going to sell those cheaper cameras that don't last very well. Now these, most of them just have the 1-year warranty. These without the GPS have the 3-year warranty. But we've got cameras out here. I still have some of the VC100s that I started selling in 2005. I got hundreds of those out there still working. Every once in a while I get somebody calling about that, having a problem with it. And most of the time when somebody calls, it's always the card. They need to format the card. We even recommend that you format them once a month or every once in a while, periodically check them, because it's like a hard drive or anything else. The camera's working, but it writes to the card. If it can't write to the card, then it's not gonna blink. It's not gonna flash. So these you can format with the remote. So these cameras right here just do the basic format that Windows does. These are a proprietary format. So they leave about 80 megabytes, so you can copy the card player over to them. So, and these, if you put the camera in there, if you put the card in the computer, you'll see on the card all of the different files, and you can actually play them in Windows Media Player. Or I've even played them on a Mac. But you need the software to put them together and to get the GPS function to back up and save a 15-minute segment or whatever. I'm going to use that software to back these up. Now also I want to emphasize that whenever you do back up, if it's a 2-camera system, it's going to make 2 separate videos. Okay, when you're watching it in the car player, you'll see the interior here, over here, and the front one here. You can click on them and make them full screen or whatever. But when you back it up, it's going to be two independent videos. That way, if you can just get the one you want, maybe you don't want both. With the 4-channel one, when you back it up as an AVI file, you're going to get 4 individual AVI files. So you can pick the 1 or the 2 or whichever ones you want. So the backup is that. You can also back it up with or without audio. So anyway, that's our cameras for you. I just wanted to put them together and show them to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to shoot me an email or you can even call me on the phone. Alright, thank you.